Very good.
Got my kid. All right.
What do you?
We're done.
I'll be pushing people forward.
Well, look, all the beautiful people are. They are right here. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're still the number one office in the Southwest. I just had to get that out there. We're gonna celebrate that every day until we're not. It's a big freaking deal. And I want to tell you guys something. Okay? Back here. The meeting. Give me 1 minute, fun. Everybody. You're right. You're the drama. It's not like I can just speak me out. This back to solving. All right. They're doing their own thing, but they'll be in here momentarily. But no, I totally forgot what I was talking about. What was I gonna do?
How we're #1 in the Southeast.
We're gonna celebrate it every single day until we're not. So let's try to do it again this next month.
So we gotta just keep doing it.
Y'all don't understand how good that makes our office look. And then what's even better is that y'all are taking that. Hi, Rachel. When we share the things on social media, y'all are getting responses when you share something. I had no idea it was gonna have the impact that it was gonna have and that it was going to provide to us. That it was gonna provide to us the means to convey what a fabulous office we are. So I'm very grateful for all of it. So. Gratitude, who's got a gratitude? I know who has attitude, but we need gratitude. We need gratitude this morning. Anybody with gratitude? Y'all, somebody has to have a gratitude or my life will not be fulfilled and it's all about me. So, yeah, man, gratitude. Okay, I have my list listing. Yeah. And I smell my something. I got my license in April 24th. But I don't think any of it. Anything, right? Okay, we're gonna say I'm a little proud. Okay. That is fantastic. Congratulations. And I'm going to say, oh, gorgeous. I'm gonna take. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we're closing on Friday, the first time we did not think we are gonna get into a house, so. Good lender, creative working with them, and we've got the sellers to cover, let us add closing costs on.
So they had a good agent who knew what he was doing and
Yeah.
negotiated well, no, seriously, and negotiated well for them.
Yes.
So the skills of the agent are becoming more and more important every single day in this funky market. And you have a lender that you like to work with that will treat you. Beautiful. I'm grateful for you.
I'm really grateful for my client that trusted me. I would, Tuesday I have 2 closings, and that would be like 5 in the last month.
Somebody got fire. Marquis is on fire. Y'all don't know how, this is so good. We were killing it in every single category. We were outpacing the market in every single category. The only category where we were kind of on track with the rest of the market was in listings and sales. So we're killing it everywhere else. We're on track for listings and sales. If we can boost our listings and sales, like I'm hearing here, we're gonna continue to blow them out of the water. So that is amazing. And y'all know my little friend Ramesh, who's in his office. I think a lot of people met Ramesh. He texted me a couple days ago and he was like, he's so cute. He called me Miss Julie. He was like, I did 5 deals today just to make you proud. He's so adorable. And I was like, Mel does 5 deals in a day, you know, and I'm like in total shock and I'm just texting him back like, great job, Ramesh, we're so proud of you. And I'm internally thinking, holy moly, this guy. So you guys have been on fire these past couple of months. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else? Gratitude. Gratitude out? Okay.
Thankful that you returned my text, even though you were glamping.
Okay.
You asked and you received.
Thank you. That one, he's like, you look so pretty today, and I'm like, thank you, I feel kind of bright, he goes, "Oh, well, you are a little pasty."
Oh my gosh. Not safe. I would never say.
Creamy, I don't know, something, you know, and then moved on, because he realized I was like, what did you? No, that was a bad word, translucent.
Oh.
Never say that. Don't believe it. Wrong belief.
I think they believe him. I'm not gonna say, but I do love him. I am thankful for him. He keeps me humble. You know, everybody needs somebody like that in their life. No. Amanda. Everybody, this is Amanda. Amanda is considering a career in real estate. Give me a high five. She's considering a career in real estate. Ms. Sue Joy brought her in. She took time off of work today. I mean, she's all in. So thank you for being here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any of us anything. So very lovely to meet you. Thank you for being here. Good, absolutely. And we have some other visitors in as well. So just be super kind to everybody that you meet today. Cover us all. And thank you, Sue, for bringing her in. That's important to me. Miss Kathy. And Miss Tammy, her best shoes that have ever shoed.
They're not translucent though.
They're not. Nor are they. I'm sorry. We all have our own set of problems.
Everybody, and most people know, except for the new people, who we are. We're your joint venture partnership for the mortgage side of it. I'm Kathy, Tammy, business partners for 12 years, alliance partners and our connections here for 17 years. So we've watched this office grow and change. Knowing the industry is important, knowing what to do and help, you know, just like the statement that a lender helped pull it together, you know, being in partners with you guys and helping you with your clients, and especially that challenge client that may need the credit repair, you know, may need a program and understand it to help you, to help the listing agent. We're always here to do that. The Onward 6, the first one is feds appear to, they're about to cut them. Projections, like I said last week, were that they'll do a quarter in July. They'll do maybe another quarter or a half in September, with everything coming to fruition, with consumer spending being flat, with inflation being in check, with unemployment going a little higher. Unfortunately, bad news is good news for rates. And when the Fed cuts the rates, remember, that's the Fed rate. That's prime. That's not the mortgage rate. But does all of this affect the mortgage market and what they determine the rate should be, along with the bonds, along with the stock? All of these numbers that are coming out during the week will affect the rates up and down. We saw a downtick, we saw a little bit of an uptick, and we actually see it daily. I mean, it may start at one rate in the morning, it may change midday, it may correct. So be very cognizant if your contract is impending, about to hit, that your client is in contact with the lender and talking about those rates and the timing on that lock-in. It's very, very important. It can make a difference on the cash to close connected to the rate. It could increase the discount points and the costs associated. Anything else on that?
Also, just as a reminder, we still have the our Smart Self program, which allows if they're self-employed to use their bank statements for qualifying. So we just did this on 2 transactions. We received his most recent 12-month statements. He does have to be they have to be in the same line of work or same business for at least 2 years. But we take their deposits on their bank statements for qualifying. And it's a great program because they can get in as low as 10% down, and there's normally no PMI on these type of programs, no prepayment penalty. So again, if you've got a self-employed client who does not qualify traditionally using tax returns, we want to make sure we double check their bank statements rather than holding off.
And we're all self-employed, so.
Well, for you, you receive a 1099.
We've got a 1099.
We have a 1099 program that we use their last 2 years, 1099.
2 years of in the business though.
Mark,
Minimum
yeah.
of 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you said deposits, so is it the deposits or the total amount that's in the account?
Deposits. So they analyze every bank statement. They pull every deposit that they've made. They look to make sure it's business related. Then they have to take a percentage of that, right? Because there's business expenses involved. And depending on the type of business, it could only be 25%, maybe it's 50%. It really depends. But we have it analyzed during the pre-approval process, so we know exactly what we're working with as far as the income.
Yeah,
And it's quick.
and if we need help, let's say it's one of those businesses that they say 50%. If a CPA that they work with can say their expenses only average 15%, we can use that. So it's a process. It's not an easy loan. None of these are non-QM, they're not Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA. So when we're doing these loans, we need more than 10 to 15 business days, which is what we do typically on all the other loans. We do need more time, and it is a process.
And y'all don't need to, I'm sorry, I mean, y'all don't need to be loan experts. So I don't want anybody sitting in this class, because I used to do that. It'd be like, there is no way in hell that I can remember that I gotta have this, and I gotta have this, and I gotta have that.
We can't even remember it. Y'all shouldn't even try.
Exactly. We can look it up. Is that this loan is gonna help this person.
Right.
That's all that can be done. This loan can help this person, because this person may not be able to buy a house unless you step up.
We've got mortgage experts that will look at every avenue, every loan out there and determine what you can do now or
Yep.
when you can do it.
Just really quick on this, I'm gonna be super specific, but I have a client that tried to do a loan like this. They have a film and television production company, and they get paid twice a year. So they get a big chunk at the beginning of the year, the big chunk at 6 months because they're doing production. And they said because it wasn't even, the deposits weren't evened out enough, that it wouldn't work. This was at a different lender. Is that something that would come up in this loan too, or?
I've never seen that, but we can ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let us definitely ask and get back with you, yeah. Yeah, let us ask. We've got we're a family of companies. New Res is a national company that's our part owners of us, locally and nationally. They're one of the top servicers in the nations. We have inside connections that are over all these departments that we'll go to and say, this is a scenario. Have you seen this? Have you done this? How did you make it work? How can we make it work? That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it's deposits and it's coming, but anyway. Okay, so this is HomeBot. This is Roxy's homepage that we're co-branded on. She has already input in the last 4 months over 1,200 clients
Like into her database or
into
into
the HomeBot database.
wow.
Every one of those people get a monthly analysis of their home.
How hard
It's
is it
very
to put somebody into the home
It
podcast?
is so crazy. So you connect with us. she starts inputting them, hey, I'm gonna send you this link, it's gonna put you in it, you're gonna get a great monthly out overview. She sent 737 out so far with what she's input. 69% of those people opened and looked at it.
Y'all realize that's huge, right?
This is from Roxy. This is from Roxy. I would say that there are people engaging on HomeBot that I have not spoken to and I've talked to now for over 5 years. My listings are up because of HomeBot. Definitely has been a great tool to connect with people that never respond to my emails, texts, or calls. Some of it is, hey, my value doesn't look right now, Roxy. Why do you think this is saying only this? She calls them and talks to them and said, well, have you rehabbed your home? Have you done this? You can go in and adjust it and it'll adjust your value. So she's having those conversations. Well, what did you do to your home? Or how are you doing? You know what? It's connecting her with them. So she said, you know, definitely for her, it took her a while to get engaged with it. She's like, this is my tool. She said, my listings are up.
How much does it cost you?
Zero. It's actually up to 25. It's free. You don't have to, so your first 25 are free. And then as you go up to 500, I think it goes up to 35 a month for 500. And then at 1,000, I think it's another $10 or something. When you engage with us, we're going to send you an email. It's going to explain it all. You'll get the video. You'll get to look at it. You'll do it. We have door knockers.
Yeah.
Marquis and the team have been it. So the door knocker is a co-branded door knocker that I created that'll have our card on it. It's one sheet, your card on information. And it's just really a door knocker that says, hey, if you want to connect and keep up with the value of your home, it's a QR code going to her page, Roxy's page, Marquis' page, whoever, that they just sign in themselves. Like
And
they go
everybody
in.
wants to know how to.
Yeah.
And Kathy, I've got like 3 listing appointments from it as well.
Y'all. Yeah.
So I know you've told us to do this before, and I went to go do it, and I guess it may be me, or could it be the fact that we're realtors, when you run into an obstacle, you find a squirrel, and then you go do something else, and you do things, and then you come back Tuesday, you're like, yeah, should we do a home box? So where do I?
Email me or Tammy, pick one of us, email us. We'll send you an invitation out
Okay.
to HomeBot. You'll get that for your professional. You'll get an email instructions on how to do it. And then if you still can't do it, just call us.
Okay.
I'm saying no, because it's really easy. There's a training log on there. It's really easy. And you actually can push, from HomeBot social media.
Okay.
Like, put it on your Facebook page, hey, if you want to know the value of your home and connect with me, they click on it and they join in your HomeBot. We don't see your clients. We are not, like, I can't click in
Not trying to take.
and try to go in here. Everything she sends is co-branded, but I can't go into her clients and start spamming them with junk. Like, it doesn't happen. The HomeBot sends out, she gets connection. I get an alert that she gets it. And if I see an agent that's not quite clicking in, I'll say, hey, are you getting this? Because as Roxy said, if you don't call them, you don't email them, you don't respond, don't do it. Yeah, like anything else, just don't do it.
So when you start, you're gonna get responses, like, get it all.
The first step is to email you for the invitation.
Yes, yes.
The other thing, take out the phone, what's your email?
There's 3 things we offer to try to help.
Yep.
The other is list reports. If you're not engaged with us on list reports, be our partner on list reports. Again, emails tell us you want us to do it. We'll send you an invitation. As soon as you have a listing, you automatically get a package for that home. If you want to do an open house, if you want to do an agent caravan, if you want to send a postcard out, it's all there. It's all done. All the community and all the house information. It's very graphic, very pretty. Again, ready to push on social media. The other thing we do automatically for the office is rate plug. Anytime you have a listing, if you'll look up at the top of the listing or any of your listings that says rate plug, rates are going in automatically. You or your client or another agent just pushes that listing, whatever you've input, the taxes, HOA and everything floods in, the current rates flood in for all the different programs. Again, something you can send out to buyers on listings. Those are the 3 things we do that, try to.
And if you own your own home and we don't have you in HomeBot, you should, because you'll get the report.
Yeah,
You gotta
we'll
see
give
what
you the
that looks
report.
like.
You can start with that. If you say, and even if you don't own your own home, if you rent a home and you say, you know what, just so I can see HomeBot, we can put you with that home and you can see what that home's doing and what they get monthly, just to get familiar with.
Which y'all emails? Do you, I mean, I know everybody has them.
Yeah.
But, okay, it's what, I really do want y'all to email one or both of them and let them know that you want to participate in this program.
After this, walk by and we'll put you on the list. Whatever's the easiest way to do it.
It's something that is very inexpensive. I can guarantee you your ROI is going to be exceptional. So I would use it. And it looks good, you know,
It's really split.
it's really slick and it looks good. Oh, come on in, Fiona.
Yes.
What time is it? It's 11:25. Yeah, come on. Come on there. Come on, Fiona. Woo! Yes, yes. Tell me what I can do. I'm sorry, what did you say? Your dress. Fire me, I'm not. Oh. That's good, that is a good one. Better than the others. Yeah, we never be compact, but compact and Twan are my two guys, so. As you know, you are here, there you are. Amy, I texted her last night and no baby yet. But I think we have about a week left.
Yeah, so,
Our baby
no,
watch.
no baby yet. We want to make sure at Michael and Gray that, y'all know we're here. Hi, Fiona. I was waiting for you to get here.
It's not just trying to shame you like you did.
I'm done for longer. Yeah.
All right, so we want to be here for you. We want to make sure that you can reach an attorney. So Kenneth and I are going to be covering it. Jacqueline's going to be backing us up. We'll have this information on the office. We will keep up with your classes. And I've got these little flyers if you need the information. I know Amy, she's gonna be monitoring this email too, but we really want to be here for you and know that there, anytime you have legal questions or I'm going to talk about the major contract changes. We can teach those in our sleep now. We're here for you. So
Thank you.
I'm Rachel Iverson, by the way, and Kenneth Gray, and I'll just leave these flyers.
Thank you. You can leave them anywhere. We'll distribute them for them. Y'all realize what a gift that is? That's an attorney standing up here telling you that they are available to you. That's huge. We call this just swap line.
Rachel.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that is a gift and y'all use it. Okay, if you have a question, it's better to clear it out on the front end than it is to try to fix it on the back end. So utilize your sourcing. I didn't think I saw her, but I usually miss her. She is not here today. All right. Did not see Tammy Pinkdale and all of the peaches that she brings us, but she has given us wonderful ways to save money ourselves and for our clients. So we are grateful to her for that. I know who I did see. There she is. There she is. And she's got something really, look at this. This is a really cool class that they're teaching. Go ahead and tell us about it, man.
So this is our listing leverage class. It's taught by our team member, Jordan Anderson, who has experience running the Brewer Home Team. And so this class is focused on when you get your first listing, how you can use your marketing to turn that into multiple listings. So it's a really great class. I'm super excited to offer it to you guys, and it's super convenient because it will be next week, right after team meeting. So you guys can just all stick around. And yeah, she does an excellent job. So she will be here next week. So please give her a warm welcome. She's super excited to see all your guys' lovely faces.
Fabulous. Thank you for that. And you know, just plan on 2 hours next week. Just come listen to what they have to say. You're always going to learn something. So they may be doing something a little differently. I know I'm just walking right in front of the camera every time you're trying to see something. But thank you. And thanks, Jordan, for providing that to us. We really appreciate it. This is in here every week. We talk about this. These are all links you can click on. I had one of our top agents the other day say to me, just go ahead and rip it open, girl. There you go. Just rip it open. Get it out there. She might be eating her cake. I don't know. That's what Teasing me. I had somebody yesterday actually say to me, I want to start doing open houses, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it right. I'm really nervous about it. And I said, "Oh, there's a playbook for that. So there is a KW playbook for holding open houses. It is located in Command. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. There are playbooks for pretty much any and everything that you need to have. So, click on it, find your playbook, get after it. So Chartmasters is coming up too. When is Chartmasters?
It's gonna be in August.
Okay.
There'll be a slide about it, so you guys
Okay.
can see the date.
All right. So when the date first comes out, mark it on your calendar because we want to have, what, babe?
August 2nd.
August 2nd. Okay, August the 2nd. It's gonna be in Forsyth. I think it's Forsyth Conference Center or something, but
Yeah.
I would love to have a big presence there for us.
Actually, I'm very.
It is, it is. But I would love for as many of us to be there as is humanly possible. And you always learn something. You always walk away knowing that you've got better information for your client.
And you can also bring guests.
Absolutely.
It's not about, trying to recruit too much, but I have two Ansley people coming.
I love it. Just what's going on. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that Andy and Leslie want to make sure we're well educated, right?
Right.
Other brokerages aren't always talking about this kind of thing. They're not talking about the NAR settlement. They're not talking about that stuff. They don't want to touch it. Andy and Leslie are going to show you how they're using the stats and all the new information out there to get more leads and get more listings and clients. So
Absolutely.
it's definitely a great class.
And one of the reasons, and I do think it's interesting that we're talking to a lot of Ansley people. Ansley is owned by a company out of Chicago. It's called Et Properties. And the only forms that Et Properties are really familiar with are forms out of Chicago. And they are trying to not force, because that's not a nice word. They are overwhelming the Ansley people with information about Chicago changes and this and that. They're kind of neglecting the actual changes that are happening right here. So, but there's a little, not everybody is doing it on such a local level that we are. And I'm very appreciative to Keller Williams for getting us through that. Yes, ma'am.
That's what I was gonna say. Bring a guest, any agent that you like a lot that was on the other side.
Ooh, the
Yeah.
other side. Whoa.
Side or the buyer side. and you
Oh, I thought she meant like another brokerage. I was like, damn, that's hard.
They're not in the KW office. Yeah, be appropriate, but yeah, we've had a lot of people join or come back or get reconnected because of coming to that and being with you. And it's a great time for you to see faces from the other offices that maybe you haven't met in person to connect with too for future business.
It absolutely is.
It really is. It's a
So
great
Kathy,
platform.
you're part of leadership, and I'm gonna say, if you are in conversation with someone that does a different KW, because we do offer things a lot differently than other KWs. For leadership is not appropriate for you to suggest it, but you can always suggest it to your other KW associates. However, what I want to say is this, back to the chart masters. This helps you get in front of the burden of communication with your sellers. In the awkward conversations of price reductions, and now you have data to back up what you are saying, why they should believe you. It's really imperative that you go to chart masters.
Agreed. Agreed on all counts. Agreed on all counts. We have so much stuff coming up. This is gonna be a little monotonous, but I'm gonna go through all of it. I was a little disappointed yesterday. Carrie and I did a class on FMLS. Okay. There are a lot of people sitting in the room now. This is about as far as I ever get. Just so you know. There are a lot of people sitting in this room right now, over and over on Tuesdays. I see you guys. I know that you needed to be in this class. Okay. It was, and I know a lot of you don't need to be in the class, probably more than do need to be in the class, but it was an opportunity. It was a mastermind, or what do you call it when they're not really masters? It was training. It was a
Mind-blowing session.
it was a mind blowing session, but it was straight up training. But it was things that we need to use on a daily basis, things that are going to get your business going. Y'all get 5 freaking people in there. All right? And they were amazing. All of them were amazing. Yes, Ben was the most amazing of all. He's raising his hand in the back, just in case I could ever forget that Ben was there. Thank you, Ben, for bringing your amazing self to that. I was the only one online. You were online. Thank you. Thank you. 6 people. It's just, we get complaints that we spend too much time on the new people, newish people. I'm being so brutally honest with you right now. All right. Well, we do that because our mentors and we're blown up with new agent requests. That's what we're here for. We do not want you guys out there by yourself, okay? Ever. It's never gonna happen. But you have to walk with us. I need you guys to walk with us on this journey. So when we offer a class like that, I need, and if you need to take it, I need you to be there. I need you to be there. I need you educated. You're educated, you're gonna make money. I need her time to be, rewarded because I learned so much from her yesterday. She's whipping around. I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. You are amazing, by the way. So just if the classes are available and if we can be that, and if we're not working with a client or a customer, let's try to be there. Let's try to be there. And if you can't do what William did, do it online. Who's in here yesterday that attended my class? How was it?
It was great.
It was great. Did you learn things?
I did. In fact, it made me go on the FMLS till like 1 a.m. last night because I was clicking around.
It's rabbit hole. It's rabbit hole.
Practicing.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, I was not in the class, but I will tell every single agent in here because it's my number one thing. I tell any new agent started,
Let's hear.
every single FMLS class, matrix, everything you can take, you need to take it. This is such a high priority. You will be doing your clients a massive disservice if you do not correctly know how to use that, how to correctly pull comps, how to find homes and things like that. It is probably one of the most important things you need to take, and you need to become an expert in very quickly.
It's your tool.
Yeah, it's your tool. It's your tool. It is your tool for looking at houses on the internet, listing your houses on the internet is your tool. Yes, sir.
When can you schedule it again?
We are talking about that. It's gonna
The
happen again.
recording is on the training page.
Oh,
It's on the
Recording is on the
training
training
page
page.
Okay.
But I will tell you one reason I think that they did learn so much is because they had their computers and it was like, I don't know what this is. And we were like, oh. But I learned from her. I don't think she learned a whole lot from me, but I learned from her. We all learned from each other and it was absolutely fantastic. So we're thinking about doing a DocuSign one. And also, just so you know, all this stuff has gone over, Raven goes over all this in onboarding, but I think we're gonna do a DocuSign one because that's like the second area of, well, I got it together, but I don't know what to do from here. So when we do a DocuSign class, I would love to see all of you. Fabulous phone call every morning except for Tuesdays. Truly fabulous phone call. They're role playing on there. They are talking about their listings. They are giving open house opportunities. If you've got the time for it, absolutely fabulous. Our friend, Mr. Gibson, Insurance Solutions. He got in here and scared the heck out of us with the roof issues and all the stuff that he was talking about. This is going to be a good class. It's just a 1-hour class. So if you are in the building during that class, it would be wonderful if you could join us. Deb Jolly. Everybody met Deb Jolly. She's a pretty cool lady. Okay, very down to earth. Doesn't play around, doesn't waste time at all. So if you want to know more about becoming a real estate coach and what that entails, these are your dates right here. Remember, you get all of these slides via Raven after this event, so you will have access to all of this. This is a great way to get into leadership if that's what you want to do. Also, obviously, a great way to become a coach. So she's going to tell you all about coaching, and you guys can see if you're a good fit. Appraiser's Guide to CMAs with DS Murphy. DS Murphy is the high quality standard here in Georgia. He is teaching a class this Wednesday, which is tomorrow.
And we have a little video
Cool.
from Marcia.
That beautiful girl. Like she didn't know. Like she didn't know. Girls over there always snuck a video in on her. What, me? Go ahead, roll that. Yeah, I roll that beautiful bean footage, but.
Attention Roswell. Elevate your real estate game with an exclusive 3-hour class by DS Murphy on Wednesday, July 24th. In a market with constant price reductions and homes sitting on the market longer, it is crucial to be defensible and add value to your clients. Now, more than ever, understanding the true value of homes is key to success. Invest $10 for priceless knowledge that will keep you on top of your real estate game. Secure your spot now and be ready to thrive in this competitive market.
Ready?
Our girl got endorsement deals? You just.
Raven, how many people have signed up so far?
I think we have about 15. If we get to 25, they said it should be free.
But this is the first time y'all seen that video. Yeah. So.
Yes, it's tomorrow.
And I want you to see this. It's a month. This class is $10. If we have 25 students, it will be free. Oh, we have 400 people in this market center. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Good in person.
Yes, it is in person because it is a CE class.
Look at that, 3 hours of CE. Everything you need.
So Julie, they won't get paid up front. So they want to pay up front. They get added to the bill. Is that what you're saying?
You pay up front and they refund it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we get 25. Thank you. I know that's what you're gonna say. All right, moving on. Mark, you did a great job. You are-
Attention Roswell. Elevate.
Thank you. The beautiful Miss Joycelyn will be teaching on Thursday from 1 to 2:30 in person only, because it is a workshop. She's not just gonna stand up here and talk at y'all, she's gonna talk with you. New Agent Boot Camp with Donna Patrick, we appreciate her doing this for us every Friday. She is a wealth of information. If you are a newer agent, even if you are not, every Friday from 9 to 10. State of the market coming up. This is right up the road from us. Forsyth Conference Center. Y'all can register now, which might be easier, or register when you get your slide deck. Just register. So this is your chart masters. This is your chart masters. So you want to pull out your phone. I'll wait a minute while everybody does that. Go ahead and register for it. Oh, look, Deanna's leaving now.
I'm just gonna go.
No.
And you're gonna go to the bathroom. Secondly,
Please.
going out to my dad is going on.
Okay, but you put it in your 10 minutes. So you can do it.
What is that?
Y'all, I worked with her since 1993, I believe. And we're the same age. We're the same age and we started real estate at the same time. It's wild. It is actually wild. And Melba too. Yeah, the whole group. So, but register for this. It's gonna be a great class, as it always is. If you have not yet registered for this dude, Mr. Gene Rivers, get in there and register. Register for this class. They're getting ready to open it up to everybody and those seats will be gone. So, oh, who's this? Mr. Phil's been sitting back there for 40 minutes thinking, wow, this woman talks a lot. Phil Downing is with Edward Jones. Phil's going to talk to us about building future wealth through great investment. One of the things we love in this office is passive income. We love us some passive income. We love anything where we can sit back and watch that money. So he
Hey
is.
guys, we do have to do a sign in for their compliance, so I'm gonna pass this around.
Go ahead, go for it. Oh, do you pen? Yep, you got one? All right, all right. So take it away, Phil. We're very glad to have you here. Please.
And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak here. I greatly appreciate that. I do have a couple of favors to ask. The first of which is for my compliance organization who has to report up to FINRA. Whenever we do these seminars, we need to get a listing of everybody who's attending. So if you could sign the sheet for us, that would be great. Secondly, in the folders for you is an evaluation sheet. Let me know how awful I am how mediocre I am, or yeah, maybe we'd have them back. That would be awesome. So what we're gonna talk about today is we're gonna deep dive into the financial world. We're gonna do a lot of equations. You guys are gonna get your calculators out, work on stuff. Does that sound good? Yeah, that's not what we're gonna do.
Oh, thank God. Sitting over here trying to think of how I was gonna gently ease you out of here, like 12, 15. I was like, okay, this might be more difficult than I thought it would, but thank goodness.
Now, what we're going to do is talk about how to broaden your investment knowledge. And so I'm going to go through a whole bunch of stuff, and I hope it's very helpful to you. There's going to be some things that are going to be very specific to 1099 people with their own LLCs, as to how you can take advantage of some things that are designed just for you. Before I jump into that, let me ask, is there any particular topic that you all have been thinking about with respect to investing or the markets or anything like that you want to make sure I cover? Stock market, going to happen coming up? Okay, well, we'll get into that in a little bit here. So the way we're organized, there's really foundational stuff. There's 5 steps that you can take to help achieve your financial goals. The first of which, we need to understand where you're at today. And that's something that what I find with my clients, a lot of times, they haven't taken the time to even assess where they're at currently. Because you need that foundation to understand, okay, if I want to go somewhere, what's my starting point? And so that can be everything from, what investments do you currently have? What's your net worth? What's your house worth, right? Which is a big part of a lot of people's net worth. What's your business looking like? How do we do that? So we gather that information and you can decide, all right, here's where I'm at today. The second piece, which is just as important, perhaps more so, where would I like to be? Now, generally speaking, this is very focused on retirement. And that is a big part of it. But it also includes things like, am I saving for my children's education, my grandchildren's education? What do I want to do after I have become a real estate mogul? Do I want to retire and go live at the beach? Travel. All of these things are goals of what it is you'd like to do. Maybe you want to buy a whole bunch of investment properties. That all ties into where do I want to be? Then the next question that we try to delve into is, okay, here's where you're at. Here's where you want to be. Can you get here from here? And can we put together a plan to do that for you, to get you from here to here? Now, candidly, sometimes when you start really brainstorming and dreaming and visioning, you might be thinking, something that perhaps is a little out of the reach at the moment. And we can put together a plan to get you a better flow, closer to it, but perhaps not exactly that. If you want to have a 200-foot yacht and live off the Amalfi Coast in the Mediterranean, you're going to need a little bit of different approach than this. And that's the next piece, which is, okay, I know where I'm at today. I know where I want to be. I have a pretty good idea that I can get there. Now it's how do I get there? And that's building the plan for you as to how we're going to get you there. And once we get the plan in place, frankly, a lot of that then goes back to you all of, do you have the discipline to follow through on all of the recommendations in the plan? And that's where a financial advisor helps, especially. Part of our job is to help you with making sure you stay on track. But guess what's going to happen? Life is going to happen. You're going to buy a house. You're going to, unfortunately, maybe have a change in the last name. There might be deaths in the family. It might be births in the family. Things are going to happen. And so we're always going to be there and we'll work with you throughout the year and throughout the years to help you with those life changes and any impact that they may have on your plans. Sound good so far? Awesome. So a little bit about Edward Jones, just real quick. Part of the reason I joined this, and actually, you know what? I apologize. I failed to do probably one of the most important things I should have done at the very beginning, which is, who am I? So again, my name's Phil Downing. I'm an investment advisor, or financial advisor with Edward Jones. And a little bit about my background. So my family and I have lived here. We live over in Alpharetta, been here for 25 years. I have two sons. They're both a little, they're older and grown. My older son, graduate from Georgia Tech. My younger son is a graduate from UGA. And my wife is one of those rabid diehard Gator people. So, SEC football and, you know, college football in the fall gets real interesting. As for me, I went to the University of Maryland where I have a degree in finance. Terrapins are great at basketball and lacrosse. Yeah, they're okay at football, but usually I defer to some other team, especially out of the SEC when it comes to college sports. Both my sons went to Holy Redeemer and then on to Blessed Trinity High School. So if anybody's familiar with that. And things we love to do is anything with the outdoors. We're also big into fitness. And one little note of pride, my youngest son swam for UGA for 5 years. And his final thing in his career, his swimming career, his final event was several weeks ago in Indianapolis, where he was in the Olympic trials. So pretty thrilled. He came in 13th fastest time in the nation in the 50 sprint. That's not even remotely good enough for the Olympics. People ask, do you think he's going to make it? I'm like, no. Because I know the competition that was there. We've watched these guys for 5 years, and this is all professionals and everything. They take, anybody know how many people they take from each event? Two.
Three. I thought.
Two. Top two. That's it. So it's very rarefied air. So with me also in the back is my business partner, Connie Gallagher. She's our branch office administrator. If for my clients, for example, my clients are her clients as well. So we're a team that serves our customers and takes care of our clients. Now, I've been in investing way too long now, well over 30 years. I love this stuff. I love stock markets. I love analyzing companies. I love looking into economics and understanding what's going to happen next out of all these things. So I'm going to bring all of that knowledge to bear to help my clients with, you know, what they're going to do next. Edward Jones, similar to my own personal philosophy, believes in a long-term focus. We focus on individual investors and small business owners. That's our bread and butter. We're not going after large institutional customers or anything like that. We believe in high-quality investments over the long term, not chasing fads, things like that. And then finally, our number one key differentiator for our business is relationships. It's very similar with yours, right? It's all about relationships. Perhaps the little bit of different is our relationships tend to run multiple years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We grow up with, we work with clients and we work with their children. And so relationships are critical and key for how we are successful. So here's what we're going to talk about today. This is foundational on what you can know about broadening your investment knowledge. So the first one is to develop a strategy. And that's really easy to say because, you know, great, what's your strategy for investment? I don't know. That's where a financial advisor can help you. But one of the first things that you need to understand when you're developing your investment strategy is, what's your risk tolerance? Does anybody have a guess as to what we're talking about with risk tolerance?
Yeah, how much strain can your heart take?
That's basically.
That is, but yeah, how much strain can your heart take? How much are you willing to put on the line?
Exactly. So, when the stock market, people are investing in the stock market's going up, everybody's happy. Oh, that's great. But the number one thing that people hate is when the stock market goes down. Nobody likes to look at their statement and go, I lost money. Now, you really didn't lose money because if you didn't sell, you're not going to actually incur that loss. However, it's painful. You're looking at that statement going, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? So what we do is we work, and most financial advisory companies do this. It's required by FINRA that we have to assess this. Gauge your tolerance for risk. Are you okay? You know, if you're a Las Vegas person and you're good with, yeah, I want to go after this and I'm okay with this. Great. We can align the investments accordingly. But most people are, I'm actually okay if I don't get the most out of the market, but I don't want to follow the market down. The market drops 15% and I only drop 9%. I'm happy with that. That's very common. So we work with you and go through a questionnaire to understand your risk tolerance, and then we can start to develop a strategy around that. The second piece is to stick with quality. So we believe in really solid investments over the long term. And one type, and we're going to talk about stocks in a minute here. Good quality investments over the long term is what drives the most wealth for the most people in terms of an individual investor. So if one of the richest guys we have here, Warren Buffett, he's a buy and hold person. He buys solid companies, holds them forever, lives off the dividends, and continues to grow. And I think I don't know, he might have dropped a little bit. He's probably only worth $55 billion now. So we'll sketch you on that one. But that's important that you're not chasing fads. I actually worked with an individual very recently. He got a tip from a buddy at work. Oh, you got to buy this stock. This thing's going straight up. It went straight down. It's almost a penny stock. When I finally was able to sell it for him, I sold it for like $1.07. We paid like $20 a share. So
I like being at Compass. Sorry, that's it. Sorry.
But that's the thing, right? Is don't chase fads. We're not into things like cryptocurrency, day trading, unusual investments, penny stocks, over-the-counter stocks, all of this stuff that's noise out there. If you're really not into that, if you're not going to pay attention to it, don't invest in it. If you don't understand it, don't invest in it. So stick with quality. The next piece here, which is really important, is diversify. So we're going to talk about things like bonds and stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, all of this stuff. But it's all part about diversification. And the majority of your returns on your investments are going to come from a thing called asset allocation. An asset allocation is you're making investments in a variety of places. So we have what we call the investment pyramid, like this. And in terms of your risk, goes up that way, but the returns are higher over here too. That makes sense? So down here at the bottom, you're going to have maybe an emergency fund, but we're going to put that into some really low risk. It's got checking account, money market account, CDs, those types of things. Next up, you're going to have what's known as fixed income. These are bonds and long-term CDs. Where you're not going to, it's generally safe, you're going to get a great interest rate back. We're going to talk about bonds in a second here. Up here is the rest of this world, which is all stocks. And those range from big companies, everybody heard of Home Depot and Apple and those types of companies, which are known as large caps. In other words, they're capitalized, they're very large. They're multiple billions, or in the case of Apple, Apple's what? Close to $3 trillion in market value, something like that, over 2 trillion. Then you have smaller companies, which are known as your mid to small cap companies. Actually, believe it or not, Delta is considered a medium-sized company. And with what's going on right now, what I saw in their stock, they're teetering on a lot of even smaller things. And then up here are some interesting little spots that you need just a bit of money into, which is aggressive. These are smaller companies, but maybe they've got a great story to tell. Not overly speculative, but still, you might want to put a little bit of money in that. That's how we build a portfolio, by the way. So asset allocation, where do you put all of your money into these different things? And the goal there is to maximize your return while at the same time being in alignment with your risk tolerance. Because, as I said here, highly risky, very safe. So we blend that together into a portfolio that aligns with your risk tolerance as well as your goals and what it is you want to get accomplished and aligns with your strategy. How are we doing so far? Any questions at this point? Done them in this.
I was gonna say, wow. That's fun, I've heard this for a while. Just enjoy it.
They're absorbing.
Just enjoy it, just keep it, they're absorbing.
All right. We talked about this piece here. Let's move on to the specifics. Now, I'm going to try to keep this brief and high level. I'm looking at the clock. I realize everybody in here is self-employed, self-included. So therefore, we're going to maximize our time together. But let's talk about bonds. Has anybody bought a bond before? 2 people. The stock market as of yesterday is worth was $46 trillion. The bond market as of yesterday was worth $52 trillion. Bond market is always larger than the stock market. The challenge for us is there's so many bonds. You have to know so much about them. I mean, there's tens and hundreds of thousands of different bonds, and they come in all kinds of flavors. So you have corporate bonds, which are issued by companies, municipal bonds, which are issued by state, local, and county governments. And then you've got U.S. Treasuries, which is issued by the United States Treasury. So I'm going to do a thing that we learned as part of our analysis to help you with understanding bond. And a bond is like a reverse mortgage almost, right? The company is saying, I want to borrow money from you. Will you lend me money? Great, lending my money, you're going to buy a bond from me, and I promise to pay you a certain interest rate. That's really what it comes down to. What's interesting is I'm doing a bad thing, turning my back. I have to do that to draw. So on this side are market interest rates. On this side is the value of the bond. What you're going to pay. When you first buy a bond, they're almost, especially corporate bonds, are almost always in units of $5,000. It's going to take $5,000 to get that first bond. In the middle here is, this is how much they're willing to pay you in interest, called a coupon. So what's really interesting about bonds is, let's say I promise to pay you 5%. That's my coupon. It's a 10-year bond. At the end, I'm going to pay you the interest annually, and at the end of those 10 years, you'll have earned 5% on your $5,000. Okay, but here's what's interesting. Who was this? Somebody brought up just about interest rates, I think it was. Who had the market talk about the interest rates coming down? You.
Yeah, I think too.
Right. So not sure. September I could be dialed in on. Not sure before then though. But we'll see.
They don't do July, they'll double it up in September.
We'll see. We'll see. Because that some of the stuff that goes into that is still not really aggressively dropping enough. At any rate, so when the Fed either increases or decreases the federal funds rate, it impacts mortgages and impacts everything else. So what's interesting is if the interest rate goes up like it did last year and the year before, the value of your bond actually goes down. That's when you start looking at your statement going, oh my gosh, what happened? I bought it for $5,000 and now it's only worth $4,500. Well, that's because these are traded, continuously in the market. And so as the interest rates go up, the value of your bond goes down. And it's called teeter-totter. And this is how we balance it all out. When interest rates decline, say that interest rate falls down here to 4.5%, your price is going to go up. You're gonna look like a hero. Your portfolio is gonna look great. But again, it doesn't matter if you hold that for the full 10 or 20 years or whatever the length of that bond is. It's still gonna be $5,000, 5% per annum. And so that's the real beauty of bonds, is holding it and not getting overly worried about speculating. Any questions so far? This is usually gets people like, really?
Is there a time limit on when bonds expire?
Right, so that's called the maturity date. And there's everything from 1 year short-term stuff, or even less. US Treasuries can be in 3 months, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Corporate bonds tend to be like 5 to 10 years or more. We're seeing less and less of the far longer term because it's very risky for them. Long term, what that looks like. Great question. Thank you.
What about EE bonds?
I'm sorry.
The EE bonds and the I bonds?
Yes, there's all kinds of stuff like that. So
Oh, usually don't, those take about 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah, roughly. So, but again, if you're holding it to maturity, there's some strategies around how to do that. Layer in, it's called a bond ladder. So you bought some bonds for 5 years out, 7 years out, 9 years out, 11 years out. As these shorter ones mature, you go back to the top of the ladder. It comes down, you go back to the top of the ladder. We'll get more into that. There's also one key thing with respect to taxation. The interest you pay on that, or you get paid on that bond, is considered income. So one of the things that we'll do in terms of strategy you should consider is buying municipal bonds. The great thing about municipal bonds is you will pay your state income tax on it, but you won't pay federal taxes on the interest you get off of municipal bonds. Flip side is, a lot of times with federal, you have to pay the federal income tax. In some cases, rare, but in some cases, you don't pay a state income tax. So there's a lot of things we can do with respect to taxation and how we work through that. So that's bonds for right now. All good? Cool. Anybody can tell me about why we say it's a bull market or a bear market?
One's going up, bear's going down.
Yes. Yeah, so the history behind that is way back when, Wall Street's been around for 140 years or something like that. The thought was, well, a bull picks up stuff with its horns, a bear swipes down. So it just became a real easy moniker to try to say when the stock market's going up and when it's going down. So a bull market continues to go up. A bear market needs to get a correction. And there's this ongoing battle between these investors, these traders every day. Who's going to go up? Who's going to go down? So moving along real quick on stocks. You buy a piece of the company, right? That company, you are owner of that company in your share. So the key there is you're going to buy a share of stock for $20. Hopefully it'll grow, say $30. You sell it, that's capital gains. You're going to pay money on that capital gains. And the big part of that also, though, is, and part of the quality is buying a company that delivers dividends, right? You own the company, they should be paying you. So they're going to pay you dividends, and that goes into the value of the stock. And then there are package investments. So these are things like mutual funds and exchange traded funds. We're going to hit those real quick. So a mutual fund is with respect to owning multiple companies. So instead of you having to buy all these individual stocks, the mutual fund will buy them for you, and you'll invest in that mutual fund. They're ran by professional, enormous resources, and they can do all of that analysis and pick the best stocks or bonds for their fund based on their strategy that they have. Diversification is key there. Again, they're buying 100 companies. Stock in 100 companies or bonds of 100 companies or more. You're getting that diversification. And again, I just mentioned the professional management piece of that. So bonds pay you interest, mutual funds, the share price goes up. Stocks pay you dividends, mutual funds, you get a capital gains distribution when they sell companies in and out of their investments. One thing, I want to go back real quick. So real quick on exchange traded funds, which are known as ETFs. Has everybody heard of like the Dow Jones Industrial or the Standard and Poor's, S&P 500?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to buy, stock in this S&P 500, you wanted to match that, you would have to buy 500 shares or 500 companies. And nobody can do that. So what you do instead is you buy what's called an ETF, which is a fund that actually buys all 500 companies on the S&P 500. And it's a great way to have diversification. It's a great way to have safety. A lot of times it will allow you to trade in and out without worrying about taxation and things like that. So those are ETFs. Real quick, we've gotten bonds, stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, we've allocated stuff, we've got cash. The question is, what kind of accounts are you going to put that in? So for a lot of people, they have 401ks through their business. Obviously, that's more of a challenge here, right? So you've got things like a traditional IRA that you can put money into, a Roth IRA, which is strongly encourage everybody to take a close look at a Roth because any of your gains are tax-free. You'll put the initial money in, post-tax, everything from there on out is tax-free. You hold a Roth for 20, 30 years, it'll be amazing with compounding, how big that'll grow, all tax-free to you. The other piece that I really wanted to bring up for this group in particular is you have a challenge with trying to do traditional IRAs. Certainly there's no 401ks, but there is something called an owner K. And that's targeted specifically at small businesses, sole proprietors, so that you have an opportunity to do things like salary deferral, profit sharing, and contribute to a Roth, all wrapped up it's basically a single person 401k. It's your own retirement plan for you. It's managed by you and with your financial advisor. Strongly encourage real estate agents, other sole proprietors, single businesses. Those are ideal people who can take advantage of this that didn't have retirement options like that before. So we talked about investment for the long term. These are the type of vehicles that you want to invest in. Take a long view of the world. Don't worry about the stock market going up and down. Quick chart for you. Try and make it big. Black's not working today. Anybody have an idea what that is? That is the stock market that has gone over time from basically pre-1920s all the way up to 2024. We've had the Great Depression. We've had World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War. We've had all kinds of challenges all throughout that. But guess what's consistent? Even though it bumps around a little bit, it still goes up. So that's one of the first things I wanted to bring up. Second question, actually, we'll get to that in a second, real quick here. This is about investing for the long term. If you want to do $5,000 investment here, buy 250 shares in a company for $20 a share, or over time, you buy a little bit every month. Still spend $5,000, but you're going to get 300 shares at a lower price per share. And we can talk to you about, work with you on how that works. Okay. Last thing here, focus on what you can control. You can control your spending habits and savings habits, right? You can control making sure you have an emergency fund, and you can control your level of debt. What are some of the things you can't control? Well, you can't control the stock market. It will do what it will do. It's very liquid, very fluid. It's going to happen. You have no control over that. 2025, depending on how they work it, whoever gets in office, the current tax laws are going to expire, which means your taxes are all going to go up. Every one of us, our taxes are going to go up. We will pay that in the spring of 2026. The other thing is every investment has some risk. And so nothing I talked about today, by the way, is construed or should be construed as individual advice for you. I can't do that. We have to be afterwards. There's two other real important things here. What's one of the most critical things that you all deal with almost every day in your business that you have no control over? interest rates, you have no control over that. So you need to just be able to understand and adapt it. Right now is probably the big topic on, and what a question I usually get is, what happens, Phil, if a Democrat gets elected to office? What happens if a Republican gets elected? How should we change our investment strategy? Well, you shouldn't, and here's why. Blue, blue here, red, blue, red, and then finally, right now, we're in a blue phase. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. The market continued to go up. There was no statistical alignment with who's in the White House, what party they are, and what the stock market did. So fun to talk about the election coming up, but just know that the best thing you can do for investing is be in the market. Okay, so let's wrap this up with always keep learning. We actually on our website have a free financial foundations program. It's really good. Encourage everybody to take a look at that. Again, it's free, it's no cost. There's 40+ things on there. Really neat, good stuff. And that's where we're at. So what questions can I answer? Anything?
Do you have any questions?
Thumb them into silence.
I think you did. You did a really good job of explaining it. So everybody good?
What was the vehicle for the real estate agents that you recommended?
And owner check. Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of
What's the maturity age on that?
It's not a maturity date. It's a kind of account that you open to invest with.
What's the compound interest like when you start into the account?
It depends on what you're going to invest in. Look at it like this is, you're going to add a garage to the side of your house. And in that garage, you're going to put tools, you're going to put a car. So the tools in the car are the types of investments with the type of interest rates and things like that. The owner K is the garage itself that you're going to put stuff in. Does that make sense?
Ben, did you have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, so I'm assuming that that's something that you would help us set up and that we can have managed
Yes.
by you.
Yes.
So I guess the other question I would have is, so we're putting money into it that we're making. We have an LLC, can we, that the income that our LLC fees by doing match with, we put in of our private?
She's a smart one.
That is an outstanding question, and that's exactly it. So what an an owner K allows you to do is you can defer your salary every year. It means you're not going to pay taxes on it until 20 years from now, retirement age. You can also do profit sharing out of your LLC.
Thank you for saying that, but no, not 20.
So cute. I love that. I love that.
Right.
I love
So
that. No.
not even close. So at any rate, yes, you can defer your salary, you can do profit sharing to defer that pull that out of the LLC, right? And you can open up a Roth and have deposits into a Roth investment account.
Are there any penalties on it? Like pulling out early?
Oh, on the Roth,
Well, the owner can.
you would just pay taxes on the deferred salary. The Roth itself does have the 59.5, pull stuff out before then, yeah, IRS you always get their money, right?
Ben, did you have something? No? Okay. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for being here. Lots of good information. Lots of things we have not heard.
One last thing, there's a survey in your folders. If you could just fill that out and let me know again how you liked it.
Awesome.
Everybody sign in as well.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Can I ask one last thing? Everybody make sure you get some pound cake. It's from a wonderful little bakery. Auntie Kim's. They're just an adorable couple and
Local.
they're up and coming.
Love it. Love supporting local.
So,
That
always
really
love
grabs
supporting
the
local.
pound cake. And thank you for lunch.
Yeah, no.
All right. Yeah, we're still in our time. The one thing that I did want to mention is next Tuesday is going to be a very special Tuesday. Strap on your seatbelts because it's gonna be something. Keith Joyner wanted to have 70s day. He's gonna sing. I, maybe he'll play the guitar for us. I have no idea, but, so we took that. And I was like, why not? It's the summertime. We like to have fun. Let's do something crazy. So we're gonna have 70s Day. In addition to 70s Day, we're gonna have Senior Day. All right, don't panic. We're gonna be senior on a couple of levels. We're gonna have some people come up and talk to us about being an SRES agent, which is a senior real estate specialist agent. I believe that's what that is. That's a pretty incredible thing to do. These people are very special and they're gonna talk to you about the designation. The other senior thing that, that we're gonna do is we're gonna have some old people like me up here. I've been doing this 30 years. That means I was doing this before the internet. What? I was doing this before GPS. I have no sense of direction and I hate Cobb County because every time I pull into it, I don't know where I am. Cobb and Gwinnett. So we're gonna have some fun people who have been in it at least as long as I have, tell you guys some hilarious stories of things that happened to our non-technical selves while we were out there. So we're
Just
having
the grit to have to look
grit.
at that.
Never failed. I know it's gonna be an appropriate, but I would always have a breastfeeding woman in my backseat. I do not know why that was me, but it always was. And we always wanted to look at new construction. So I was always like trying to like shield, and do the thing with the map. So we got stories. So, and we're also gonna have some great 70s music and we're gonna turn this into our Don Cornelius Soul Train line. Here down the middle. So for all of us who are either SRES or Soul Train.
No, I know 70s. That's like the only time I have. I'll go back to 70s.
You know where that was going, right? Y'all, I swear, Twan, I love you, Twan.
21.
But Twan, how old are you, Twan? He's 23.
What's his last name?
Twan. No, 21 is is what he calls himself because his name is Twan. It kind of sounds like 21. So, yeah, I was gonna start calling myself 58. But yeah, we're gonna have a little Don Cornelius action coming down the aisle and gonna be a little bit of this. So I need y'all to practice. Need y'all to get need to practice. Need to practice. And feel free for those of you who you need to be quiet, friend. For those of you who want to wear your 70s garb, I'm not pull out my Bob Ross wig. I have no idea. But we're gonna have fun. So join us. Who did it? It was you, wasn't it? It was you. It was her. What'd you say?
She said that she had a Bob Ross wig too. He's gonna bring the evil of the day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, with the Bob Ross wigs. But we're gonna have a good time. I would love for you to be here. You will get a memo about it, but please just remember if y'all want to be in the 70s spirit, bring it. Bring it, because it will be received. I can't wait to see what you think the 70s are. Girl. Hey. But we're gonna, oh honey, it's so on. We still have. I'm to be quiet. As you know, we have these out there for you guys to use. Thank you for the way that you are using them. Y'all are getting great. And I do mean great response on these things. So let me, y'all earned it. You earned it. So next week, we're just gonna be getting down. We're just saying, let's get down. So, do we have any caravans, open houses, or coming soon?
I saw there was an email caravan. I don't know.
Is there? Okay. All right, everybody check their email for the caravan.
Investment property that people might want to look into, it's 8085 Thompson Street in Douglasville, right next to Willing Workers Park.
Okay, how much?
So it is gonna be listed at 225.
And why is it great investment properties?
Because the renters can have their own park in their backyard.
Okay. So ready for
Right
that?
now, it'll probably be, it's not gonna be your 1%, but it could be a good investment for long term.
Everybody heard that, right?
Let me tell you what happened last week when we were doing this. Y'all know our beautiful Merle land. We love our Merle land. Well, Merle was telling us about a house, you know, that she knew about and it might be coming on the market or whatever. Somebody in here showed that property. That is how we sell our own listings. That is what we do. Is it gonna work out? I have no idea. Does that person think Merle's the greatest thing since sliced bread? Absolutely. Does the buyer's agent think that that buyer's agent is the greatest thing since sliced bread? Yes, because they're showing them things that are off market. So does anybody else have anything upcoming? Yes, ma'am, let's hear it.
Have an open house, a new listing coming up. I mean, this.
Yeah, it's probably not all the hair.
I know, right? So we're doing an open house, it's coming in the market, we're gonna hold showings until the open house is this weekend, it's in Lawrenceville, ranch, 3 bedrooms to bath. And then we have one in Alpharetta coming, probably the following weekend, and that's gonna be the second round of open houses, it's a bungalow style. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and about an acre, great area. The Lawrenceville one will be in between 375, 380, and the Alpharetta one will be about 5 and 4. Okay, so we'll publish that, but we'll love to.
I love that. Somebody out here, guys.
I have a request. I have a client that I could sell their home in White Collins, if you guys probably need somebody in White Collins in the gated section. However, I need a family compound, an estate where I need, if you guys look up 150 Sherwood, we missed out on the opportunity because they weren't quite prepared. They want to be able to possibly do Airbnb if they wanted to, but also to have children come and have their own little ADU. So if you guys happen to know of anything, Birmingham Highway, Milton, Canton, that'd be great.
So we're looking for a compound.
It'll pretty much go to 1.9.
Okay.
2, and then we're thinking of White Collins House 1.5.
All right, yes, ma'am.
I have one coming next week. It's something that we flipped. And I'm late, and so if y'all have any hippie clients,
I'll be there for sure.
they will love it. It's gonna be 1,200.
That's the whole price. I like that.
Yes,
ma'am.
So I've got 2 coming up. One of them is well, one is my personal investment property that we're selling in Smyrna. It's gonna be 325. It's a little bungalow. 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath. Again, first time home buyer, or I don't have to, it's coming soon on FMLS right now, but if I don't have to go there, please let me know. 325. And then my friend's investment property in Talking Rock, and that'll be around 300 and maybe 275.
Y'all, these are great prices, great investment prices. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Open house on a,
3618 Lake Shore Drive.
Go ahead,
hosting an open house on a coming soon. It's in Smyrna as well, 1820 Dunrobin Drive
Is
Southeast.
it going to be coming soon when you hold the open house?
No,
Okay. good.
it'll be 4,000.
I love you, Twan. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Actually getting painted today, but Thursday, it's in Litchfield Hundred, Roswell, on Knox Road. 1985, 5 bedrooms, 5 full baths, gorgeous swimming pool. And the previous owner had made all of these walking trails in the back, and it's a stream that runs through the that turns into the lake. There's a swing set and like a swing from the oak tree. It's really amazing. They bought it a couple months ago, started renovation, and then realized they were gonna move here. So everything in the bathroom, like Ferguson, everything, biking, everything, never been used.
How big is the lot?
2.5.
2.5 acres. Wow. That's gorgeous.
1.7.
That's a decent price too, 2.5 acres, 1.7.
So if we all chip in, we can buy.
I'll go there. Yes. Yes, we can all use the pool. Is there a pool?
Hey, Julie.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, everybody. I have 2 rentals. One of them is a beautifully furnished basement apartment in the Edinburgh is a golf course community. I'm sure some of us know it in Suwannee. It's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, beautifully furnished. The only thing is they're not taking short-term rentals. They're only doing minimum of 12 months. So if you know anybody who wants a 12-month lease, it's got swimming pool, everything Edinburgh has to offer, the tenant has access to it. And it's the basement of a multi-million-dollar property. So it's beautiful. The other one I have it in the south side. It's 2907 Stone Creek Drive, 2907 Stone Creek Drive in the south side. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house. The garage is converted into an Airbnb apartment, really beautiful. That can be an additional income for any tenant to put, because the owner would allow a sublease of that portion by any tenant that rents it. So, the Suwannee one, by the way, is 562 Brenlin Court, 562 Brenlin Court.
Thank you,
in
Preston.
Suwannee. Thank
We
you.
appreciate you, sweetie.
Julie.
Yes, ma'am.
A rental comment, 3700, 930 Southfield,
Okay.
right by downtown Alpharetta.
Nice.
Street.
The
High
condo,
school,
townhouse?
it's a 5-bedroom,
Oh, big old house.
5-bedroom, 4-bath, bedroom on the main level, media room upstairs.
How much is that
And the
gonna
high
be?
school is Cambridge and it's 3700.
That sounds like a deal. Okay. Okay, anybody else? Nope, we good? Okay.
Just finishing my video.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, who was that? Oh, okay. So this is how we sell properties amongst ourselves. Keep this going. Listen to what people are saying. If you have a buyer need, stand up and listen to your buyer need. Maybe somebody's got something in their back pocket. So, I think that is pretty much it. I'm sorry this meeting ran a little bit long, but not too bad. Inspiration for your week. And do you what is that? Oh, all this time. Miraculous.
a random list.
Yeah. An investment in knowledge pays the best. That is absolutely true. Knowledge is power. So y'all have a wonderful week. We are here. If you need anything at all, please let us know. We do not know unless you tell us. All right. So we love you guys. Thank you, Phil, for being here, and thank you for lunch. Phil will be here for a few minutes if anybody has any questions. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Oh.